I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back, 100.7 The Score. It's the Bottom Line. Rob Bro, Jamie Lent, Clint Scott for this hour. We are on the First United Bank studio. You can call in on the Visual Edge IT hotline 806-771-0973. You can also keep hitting us up on the 8's Flooring Center chat line. We will get to the end of the last hour chats as we turn it over to this hour. But we also welcome in Jamie Lent. Jamie?
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
How you doing?
Doing good.
Yeah?
I don't get to chat with you very often.
No?
So, yeah.
Is that why you're doing the first hour just because you wanted to hang out with me? Or
I have a do not disturb sign on my door. So
you do.
Yeah. Actually, it was I switched things up since Chois is filling in for Chuck in the morning. I didn't want Choice to have to talk to the same guy for 5 hours for 5 straight days.
Jamie is sick of Choice.
He's sick. There
You're
it
in
is.
day 2 of the combo, and I
There-
can't do it.
Choice is, one time, Rob, one time before you got here, Clint had to do that job, and we had like a countdown marker over here, the number of hours I had to talk to Clint Scott in 1 week.
And you know what? We had a big episode planned because if I'm remembering right, it was ending on a Friday, and it was going to be like a full 2-hour recap on our 2 hours of the Bottom Line together, and then this guy skipped out.
And then I had somebody fill in for me.
Yeah. You could just play the best of the last day. The best of Clint and Jamie from the week.
Can you imagine doing 25 hours of shows with Clint Scott in 1 week?
I probably have at some point, just in our lifetimes together.
Kind of like
recorded, but
our Red Raider Recon episodes sometimes go about 25 hours in one sitting. So
It's because you guys are so thorough.
That's it.
Yeah.
Very thorough.
if we were a sandwich, would be thoroughbred.
Or a horse. I think it worked better if you were a horse
sandwich would be thoroughbred.
Yeah, I don't. What in the Brooks Koepka's going on here? Nobody's eating horse sandwiches. Anyways, lots of stuff to talk about today. We got the Dallas Cowboys press conference, the opening press conference, with Jerry speaking out of turn, as he always does. Steven saying Jerry doesn't even talk to the agents. I do. And Schottenheimer not even talking for the first 8 minutes of the press conference. No power.
I mean, it's just what we always say. It's hard to keep up with the Joneses.
Very hard.
Mm-hmm.
And
so
of course, he's not going to be sticking his voice in there. He's just going to wait for his turn. But
Sure. So one Jones egomaniac upset with the other Jones egomaniac because he's getting credit for talking to the agents and it's not him?
I don't know. I think that people are going to wish Jerry Jones was still around about 2 years into Steven's full-term tenure.
Oh, man.
Because everything that people are blaming Jerry for, because Jerry's the voice and the face, have been Steven the last 5 years. Oh. Steven is the worst.
That's an interesting take. I've not heard that one before.
Steven is, they call him Cap Boy. Amongst the Dallas Cowboys Twitter circles.
I mean, is there Cap Boy? Is there anything positive that you can put at the front of boy and make it be a compliment? Right?
No, probably not.
Good. If you're talking
Even
to
that,
a dog.
Yeah, but like if you're talking about like
dog, yeah.
Clint is the good boy, that sounds like we're calling
okay. I
you.
feel uncomfortable now.
Yeah.
I regret that.
Yeah, anytime you're putting boy out there, it's like he's not Cap Man.
Yeah.
I just him and Jerry as a duo are fascinating to me because it does feel like there's kind of a power struggle at times. And then he throws in lines like that, like Jerry's not talking to the agents, I am. But then Jerry is saying he's talking to the principals, which I guess is the player. He's talking to the player. But what I also see happening potentially in this Micah Parsons situation specifically is that deal is done, and then Steven's calling and saying, all right, we have this, this, and this, Jerry. Do you approve? And he's like, well, what about this and this? It's like that boss that has no idea what's going on, but is in charge of everything, and he's sticking his nose into stuff. And you're like, all right, just either be in the conversation or not, Jerry. Mm-hmm. If you're not going to be in the room, if you're not going to be in the meeting, just let us run the team.
Right.
And then he's talking to Micah Parsons from the press conference table.
Which always goes well.
Which always goes well. J.J. Watt saying, anytime you can really stick it to your star quarterback and star pass rusher right before the season, you just got to take the opportunity. And Micah Parsons retweets that. I mean, it's just – and then we're calling him a hold in just to jab the knife that he's there but not practicing. I don't know. It just – everything that could have gone wrong yesterday to halt any momentum that the Cowboys might have had from this offseason, which I think was above average as far as Cowboys offseasons go. Somebody called it great in the end of the last hour, and I pushed back on that a little bit. But, I mean, you got George Pickens.
Yeah, I think Pickens was a really good pickup.
You got some defensive help, not a lot. There's some linebackers, some defensive linemen. The offseason before you obviously just got worse on paper. So you lost so much. Mm-hmm. A lot of players followed, like Dorrance Armstrong followed Dan Quinn to the Commanders, a lot of defensive players, and then you just didn't get better offensively. Now, certainly there's a big hole in the offensive line, but that's a retirement, not anything else with Zach Martin. Mm-hmm.
Well, I think even just from like a headline standpoint, it was pretty calm for Cowboys standard. And it's like, hey, day before training camp, let's go ahead and throw all that out the window, shall we?
I do have one positive from yesterday's camp. You ready? There were fights.
Fights
Hit
in the training. Baby.
Fights in training camp is good, Jamie. Tell me I'm wrong.
I guess
a little early for that, but
there's some intensity.
Yes.
They're
passion.
Yeah.
On day one?
It seems a little much.
No, Jamie, we want it. Bring on the fights.
Who did the fights involve? I just saw that there was a fight.
I think it was a defensive back and a wide receiver.
But are they like typical no-name guys? Or are they actually going to be on the roster?
I don't know. I don't know. I just saw there was a fight. I didn't look into it much. Some preseason rankings came up on the screen. I forgot this was last year. And I was like, what is going on here?
I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I don't necessarily also believe that it's going to lead you to greatness or whatever. I mean,
I'm grasping at straws here, Jamie. I need something to be positive about, even though I am a Commanders fan now. All right. We will do some headlines as we come up on the next segment. We also have 10,000 college football simulations.
Interesting.
10,000. This is from Stats-O-War.
Are we going over all of them?
We're going to go over the culmination of the process.
One by one. Welcome to your next 40 years, Jamie.
Speaking of being very thorough.
The rest of time, we're just going to be going through these simulations. No, we've got the culmination. It's for all of college football. So we'll go through a couple of Big 12 teams and see what 10,000 simulations has for Texas Tech and Kansas State and otherwise. More after this. 100.7 Score. It's the end of the bench.
Getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back. 100.7 The Score. It is the end of the bench. I'm a numbers guy. I like numbers.
Okay.
I don't always know what they're saying, but I like looking at them. I like stats. I try to. Sometimes I think something and then try to find a way to prove it with stats. I think they call it confirmation bias.
Okay.
And sometimes I'm looking at other people's stats and trying to say, all right, what are they trying to say with those? What's the narrative being painted? But then there's just these guys like Parker Fleming, who his entire living is just making graphs and data points out of random college football stats. And these graphs and plot points and EPA metrics, I don't really understand. Apparently, a lot of people understand these. Enough people know what's going on for him to have a living doing this.
Or at least they pretend to know.
Or pretend to know, yes. But he has gone through, for every college football team, and run 10,000 simulations in what he calls preseason priors.
He did all this in his mom's basement.
To get team average win totals for every college football team.
Okay.
In 10,000 simulations, Penn State averaged a 10-2 record in the regular season.
Okay.
10.2 wins.
It's believable.
Ohio State, Notre Dame, Oregon, the only other college football teams who've averaged 10 wins in these simulations for the college football season.
Ohio State, Oregon, and who?
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
So 3 Big Ten schools. What does that tell you about the bottom of the Big Ten?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Clemson at 9.7. They're the closest. Boise State, Texas, Alabama, Georgia, the next at between 9.3 and 9.4 wins in 10,000 simulations.
Okay. This is our SEC love portion of the program.
Yep. First we did Big Ten. Now we're doing SEC.
Mm-hmm.
An ACC and a Mountain West in there as well. Or sorry, Pac-12. Nope, not yet. Still Mountain West one more year. Liberty 9.1. Miami 8.9. And then you get to some Big 12 schools. 10,000 simulations, Jamie. Who do you think the top Big 12 school is in those simulations?
Kansas State.
Texas Tech. They average in 10,000 simulations 8.6 wins per. Now that is, you could have 5,000 where you win, 10, and then 3,000 where you win 6, and then kind of even it out with some 8s and 7s and 9s in there. So probably more often than not, you're getting to 10 wins or whatever else, having some big seasons. But the average of what can happen, you play 3 road games against tough opponents.
Sure.
9-3 would not be shocking.
No.
Maybe you lose a home game, 8-4. Just take the roster out of it. Take the transfer portal out of it. If you just look at this roster as a Big 12 roster, or as a Big 12 schedule, 8-4 doesn't seem shocking. Now, with the expectations you've lauded upon yourself, maybe it's shocking.
And the roster additions through the transfer portal.
But as the top Big 12 team, something to be said there.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go to Arizona State at 8.5, Kansas State at 8.3, and the next Big 12 school is Utah at 7.7. So in 10,000 simulations, only 3 Big 12 schools, Texas Tech, Kansas State, Arizona State, above 8 wins. Utah at 7.7. Now, we could draw conclusions about the top half of the Big Ten based on the numbers of 3 schools in the Big Ten getting at least 10 wins. I think we can also draw the same conclusions about the top half of the SEC by 5 or 6 SEC schools being within or above 8.5.
Okay.
So what kind of things do you draw? What kind of information do you glean from the Big 12 having 8.5 as basically the top, and then Baylor, Utah, Iowa State all around 7.5, TCU at 6.5?
I take away that the conference is believed to be up for grabs. I take away that the conference is thought to not have one dominant program that's going to roll, but instead it's 5 or 6 teams that have a chance, and somebody's got to win it.
TCU, Houston, Cincinnati, BYU, and Kansas all within 6 to 6.9. Iowa State, Baylor, Utah all within the 7s.
Mm-hmm.
And then Texas Tech, Kansas State, Arizona State all within the 8s. So, yeah, I think I agree with you. I think there's probably 2 tiers of those top 6 teams.
Sure.
And then a second tier of those teams like Kansas, and I wouldn't necessarily put Houston in there, but TCU potentially.
Sure.
As kind of that second tier. But I would not be shocked, I've said this, of any of the top 8 teams in the Big 12 at least playing for a Big 12 title.
8?
8.
You think it goes that deep?
And it stops with Kansas. BYU would be 9th.
Okay. And that probably would have been different before the quarterback change?
Probably. Yeah. I probably would have gone 9 deep.
Okay.
But I think I would be shocked with about 5 of those actually winning a Big 12 championship. Not shocked, but, a little bit surprised.
Yeah.
And then 3, I would say, yeah, they should be in it, and they probably should win. That would be Kansas State, Texas Tech, and Arizona State. But Utah playing for a Big 12 championship would not be surprised. Baylor playing for a Big 12 championship would not be surprised.
Man, Utah is just it's an interesting case study of a team that, as far as you talk about, hey, you're only as good as your quarterback. And that's a team that was 2-7 in Big 12 play a season ago. Obviously, their quarterback dealt with a bunch of injuries, and it was a terrible team. But now with a quarterback that, in my opinion, is unproven at this level, is maybe getting more hype than he needs to be, they're all of a sudden figuring to be in the mix, for winning the Big 12 championship. That's a pretty big jump.
I think there is so much bias against Utah from Big 12 fan bases because of their fan base.
Okay.
Just how volatile and cantankerous they are on Twitter and social media.
Cantankerous, I like it.
They're just pompous and arrogant and
I think they're better than everybody else.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But if I gave you Houston, Utah, and BYU as some of the best defenses in the Big 12 last year, with Houston and Utah just having dreadful offenses, of those 3 teams, who do you think has the most replicatable success defensively this year?
Well, it's not Houston because they've lost their DC.
And a lot of players, yeah.
Yep. Probably not BYU, so yeah, probably Houston.
Utah, yeah.
I'm sorry, Utah.
I mean, BYU had so many turnovers last year. I don't see them being that ball hawk heavy again.
Okay.
And Utah, again, just their head coach in waiting is a defensive coordinator. I think they retained some defensive talent. They've got 2 first-round draft picks at the tackle positions. They got a 1,000-yard rusher out of Washington State. And then a quarterback who's bringing his offensive coordinator with him.
Mm-hmm.
So it would surprise me if they won the Big 12. It would not be surprising me if they competed for a championship. But I do think the Big 12 is, as far as contenders go, the deepest. They have the deepest pool of contenders.
Yeah, I would agree with that if you're comparing them to the ACC, the Big 10, and the SEC.
How many contenders would you say are in the Big 12?
I think I'd go a little bit lower than you. I'm probably around 6.
And then would you agree with probably 4 in the Big 10? With Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon, and somebody else?
Yeah, probably fair.
And then what, 3 in the SEC?
Feels like those are the three that are getting the pub right now.
Georgia, Texas, Bama. Mm-hmm. All right, we'll continue on after this. Potentially a Kaylee's Dailies on the other side. 100.7 The Score. It's The Bottom Line.
Bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back. 100.7 The Score. It's The Bottom Line. Are you familiar with that song we just played back into there, Jamie?
I've heard that before, but I'm not really familiar with it.
As the Alabama Shakes.
Correct.
Don't want to cry no mo.
I don't want to cry no more.
Her name, I believe, the lead singer, is a she.
Correct.
Her name is Brittany Howard, I believe.
4-time WNBA.
No, that was
All-Star.
Brittany Hicks.
Oh, my bad.
She has the largest mouth on any human I've ever seen.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you need to look up the Alabama Shakes.
Okay.
Just the sheer volume of
bigger than
size
Steven
of mouth.
Tyler or Taylor Dane.
It is Tyler-esque.
Do you have a full scale of mouth sizes?
No, I just, sometimes you notice things, and she has, when she's really belting, man, you can put an orange in there.
Wouldn't find any lip surface at all? Just...
Yeah, you can, from
like
30 yards
like
out.
a ping pong ball through a basketball rim.
Sure, let's do a Kaylee's Daily. We're going to need a bigger boat. Welcome to Shark Week, the Bottom Line listeners. Shark Week has begun this week and will feature some fantastic dailies about one of the ocean's greatest apex predators. Today we'll start with the oceanic white-tip shark. The oceanic white-tip sharks are a large pelagic shark species that have one of the wildest distributions of any shark. They occupy tropical and subtropical waters across the world. They have been observed in the Caribbean, off the African coast, off the Australian coast, and even around shipwrecks. White-tip sharks grow over
16 feet.
10 feet.
10 feet
Yes.
long and typically weigh
400 pounds.
200 pounds.
200 pounds.
And are specifically
You didn't let me finish.
Slim sharks, characterized by their white coloring at the tip of their dorsal fin. They often go for prey items around the top of the water column, like tuna, marlin, and even seabirds that rest on top of the water. Speaking of shipwrecks, USS Indianapolis is thought to be the oceanic white-tip shark was one of the main species implicated with attacking shipmen that were in the water after the USS Indianapolis was hit by a Japanese torpedo in 1945 during World War II. This conclusion was drawn from the bite wounds noted on sailors that were retrieved from the wreckage.
That's one of the most horrifying stories.
Can you imagine? A, being in wartime. B, getting shot by a torpedo. C, sinking. D, having to deal with sharks. 10-foot, 200-pound sharks.
They're like some of the
Chet Holmgren of
stories that
sharks.
they have from some people of just like watching, like, is it going to be me this time, or is it going to be like my buddy over there? Is just chilling.
See, that's at a point where I'm like, just make it me so I can be done worrying.
Yeah.
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 And please
You're
have
fishy,
a big enough
fishy.
mouth that you can just eat me in one go.
Yeah.
Oh, here, let's finish. The great white-tip sharks, mouths like Brittany Howard. No, that's... Did you know it was Shark Week?
I did.
Are you a Shark Week guy? Do you take in Shark Week?
A little bit. Just when I'm flipping through and you see stuff.
I don't know if just like my childlike wonder is leaving me, but it's not all the way gone. Shark Week used to be a lot better. Am I wrong?
I've made a conclusion here that I don't click through cable anymore, so I don't land on Shark Week. Like, I'm having to go search out Shark Week if I want shark content. But to me, you could do that anytime. Like Shark Week is whenever you want it to be Shark Week. You just go on
That's like
YouTube or
the realization as an
service.
adult, you can go get an ice cream cake at any time. You don't have to save it for a special occasion. You're the decision maker. You can go watch shark videos anytime.
Yeah. Do you ever get on OSearch?
OSearch. No,
OSearch is a website where they've tagged thousands of sharks, and you can track sharks.
Okay.
On OSearch. So sharks and sea turtles.
Oh, can you do like where people buy like you a star? Can you buy someone a shark and like, oh, there's your shark. He's in the Atlantic Ocean right
symbolically, you could assign a shark to somebody if you make your own. Do you have paper and a printer? You could just
say it's yours.
Make a certificate that says, "Here's your shark."
Sir, I'd like to adopt a shark.
So you can. I'm sure you actually probably can. They would take your money. I think they're a research program.
It's just a scheme where they have just like put it on a seagull and they're just like, yeah, there's a blinking thing right there. That's yours. Yeah, that's your shark.
Why is it in the air?
So it's OSearch with a C, combining search and ocean. There's let's see. Let's click on a shark. Here's some Damon. The short fin Moko, 6 foot, 120-pound shark.
I don't know. There's a lot going on in the ocean.
You can see where they've been, Jamie, and you can track them, and you can have favorites.
That dude's got he's
awesome.
doing some traveling this summer.
Yes, he is.
If Taylor Beatles is listening to this, he's probably looking that up right now to see all the sharks he's going to fight. He's like, oh, I can meet him at the Interpass right here.
That's probably
Where do you think you're going, Jazzy?
Maybe so. Hey, let's get back into Josh Jung. Josh Jung re-debuting, we could say, yesterday with the Rangers, at least coming back up from AAA.
Well, maybe they should just keep sending him down and bringing him back up because, in his debuts, he homers each time. So
yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
In both Major League debuts, he, in his first at-bat, hit a home run. I did tweet it to Jared Sandler yesterday. Jared Sandler said, Josh Jung is back, and I replied, he's going to hit a home run today.
Mm-hmm.
So I do feel good about that prediction.
Good. You'll probably get a shout-out on the broadcast tonight.
Maybe. Probably not. I think he's on the radio tonight. He was on the radio call yesterday. So maybe so.
Bored of too many foul pitches, he needed to take foul balls. He needed to take a day off.
Yeah.
If you had any shot of that with anybody of the crew, it would be Jared Sandler because he is the most involved with Twitter. I can't imagine it being Matt
Hicks.
Hicks.
The only one involved with social media, probably.
I think that's part of his gig.
Yeah. Yeah, he does the videos and whatnot on Twitter as well. I want Josh Jung to be a lifelong Ranger. But in the business of Major League Baseball and just how the roster is constructed currently, there is some positional flex at third base. With Josh Smith and some of the other guys you have around. Is the team better, though, if Josh Smith is playing third base every day and Ezekiel Duran is the utility? I would say no. I think the team is better with Josh Jung at third and Josh Smith being the utility.
Yeah, there's definitely a higher level of defense there. And then Josh Jung gives you a little bit more pop when he's right.
And he certainly has had pop 3 home runs in the last 4 games. And if he can he doesn't have to walk every 3 at-bats. But just have it in the bag that you might not swing at 3 consecutive pitches.
Up,
out, away,
yeah.
In, down. I mean, there was a stretch he was literally swinging at everything.
Yeah, it just feels like that's his biggest struggle has been separating balls and strikes. And can't get himself into hitters' counts.
You look at that walk yesterday, the guy wasn't close. Like, any big league hitter probably takes a walk there. But I don't know 2 weeks ago that Josh Jung didn't swing at 2 more of those and at least extend the at-bat.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So
it just goes to show you how mental of a game it is, and when you lose your confidence and you start questioning everything and nothing becomes simple for you, how big of a deal that is.
My prediction is that Josh Jung is not traded.
I would lean towards thinking that would be the case. He's still, pardon the pun, a young player.
Yes.
No joshing.
So I do think, by the way, what do you think about Rich Hill?
45, not
Royals.
a young player.
You excited about that, Clint?
Doing everything they can, man. I don't know.
45. Now, surely it's just that he's a spot starter. He's not going to be taking a rotation.
I wouldn't think so.
Surely. All right, lurking in the waters out there is Chois Woodman. He's going to come in. Take a bite out of this program.
Sink this ship.
Oh, man. All right. Chois Woodman, bottom line, up next.
Bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Hey, what's happening? Happy Tuesday. Good afternoon and welcome. This is the Bottom Line, or welcome back here on 100.7 The Score, 107thescore.com, and the 100.7 The Score mobile app. Brought to you by Happy State Bank. We're watchable on TV, Fox 34 News now, YouTube, Fire Stick, Roku. However you're taking us in, we're glad that you've chosen to make us part of your Tuesday. We being myself, Chois Woodman, alongside Jeff McGuire, as we take the baton from Rob and Jamie. So, we'd love to have your thoughts. Bring your thoughts, comments, questions, all of it welcome on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Through that 100.7 The Score mobile app and 107thescore.com. Take that mobile app anywhere with you. You can even listen in out in Essex, Connecticut. Sounds like an uppity place.
Well, it's in Connecticut.
You think all of Connecticut's uppity?
I mean, look how small it is. It wouldn't take much for all of it to be uppity.
It is literally uppity on the map of the United States.
That's accurate.
Well, it's not up, though, because that's Michigan, where the upper peninsula is.
Those are the Yoopers, though, right?
Yeah, but the Yoopers is UPS. Ups.
The Yoopers in the Upper Peninsula.
Yeah.
We're getting an announcement right now from over across town. And Chase Campbell has just committed to Texas Tech.
Cool.
Breaking news. There we go.
Stud.
We like this.
Baller.
I am very fond of this.
I am excited.
He is maybe the best athlete I've ever called games for at anything. Just pure athlete. He is unbelievable. So,
well, it's only because you haven't called games for Walker yet.
I don't know that Walker's going to end up being my most athletic kid, but, there's a chance. Who knows?
The oldest, Jeff.
Oh, I know.
The oldest over there.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm saying the oldest at Kansas in a couple of years.
I don't know why you keep...
It's going to look real good.
Why do you keep talking trash on my kid? Anyway, this is Chase Campbell's moment. He is...
That's not talking trash. It's a D1 offer.
It is to me.
It is a D1. Like, in
talking
fairness,
trash to me.
It's a D1 offer for your
To
kid.
me. I know.
And I'm sure that they would be more than happy to offer a D1 scholarship to your eldest.
So, Chase Campbell of Friendship has elected to stay in town and go to Texas Tech. He is the number 20 ranked receiver in the entire country.
Nice.
Might be a little low, too. Just saying. I'm biased, but that kid's darn good.
Wait, you? No way.
I don't know.
Haven't heard that at all, ever.
Take into account that I'm a biased person.
So, congrats to Chase Campbell to committing to Texas Tech, and
Congrats to Tech.
yeah, but I think it can go both ways.
I didn't really. I mean, I would have been happy for him, But at the same time, I really didn't want him to go to either other destination.
Baylor or Kansas
Sure.
State.
Yeah, that would not have been as much fun.
If he had ended up at Arkansas where his dad played, it'd have been like, okay, I'm going to the SEC. But him ending up at Texas Tech is really good. Congrats to Texas Tech. But
I also think it's important to like the kids that are really going to be able to make a difference in the area. It is important to keep them home.
I agree, and you've done that much better, I think, in the last couple of years than. I mean, there were plenty of guys that escaped under Cliff Kingsbury, a few that got out of here under Wells, and I know you're not going to be 100% on that sort of thing.
I'm just on this particular topic. When it comes to the recruits, I'm on the recruit side in this. Because...
And we're not?
Well, no, like, we're going to make sure that these guys stay here. You could not have offered me enough money to go to the University of Houston when I graduated.
And that's what I was getting at. I said you're not going to be 100%, but I do think that most of the time, if you build relationships early... if you do
they
it
need to be recruited.
There are... probably 2 out of every 10 guys where it's like, I want to get away from home, and I get that.
And you just shouldn't have a big percentage slipping through the cracks because through the other thing too, because
and don't slip the other way. That would be bad.
Because you have the inside track to them.
Yeah.
Sure, and they can have unlimited visits because they can just come to a game. All of that, totally fair in all of that. You need to recruit them. You need to identify them. You need to not let them not be recruited. But again, I'm not faulting any kid for deciding they want to go someplace else because a lot of other factors go into it, not just sports, that I totally get because I was one of those kids.
Yeah, I do too. I get it. I get that it's, again, you're not going to bat 1,000 there, but you need to get a lot more of those guys than you let go.
Yeah.
And especially the immediate Lubbock area, but that needs to expand out to Midland, Odessa, and Amarillo, and just West Texas in general.
And you need to be able to put a blanket over all of West Texas and say, this is ours, until the kid tells us no.
Yeah, and I think it's gotten a lot better the last couple of years, so I do like seeing that. But, I mean, seeing guys, heck, Sawyer Robertson's a guy that was obviously in town. I'm not saying I'm picking him over Baron Morton necessarily, but he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league. You've got the what was her name? Thompson's son that played at TCU. I can't think of it.
I can
the
see
receiver
him.
that played at TCU.
Yeah.
And then the other part's the legacy thing. I mean, Byron Hanspard Jr. Byron Hanspard's a name that belongs at Texas Tech. Those are the ones you want to start hitting really high on.
Especially if there's an interest for them. Like like if there was, I could go to Tech or, I could go someplace else. If it's not this is not an option. Those are the only kids that you should not be heavily recruiting if they say that for whatever reason.
Yeah. So, great news for the Red Raiders. Chase Campbell commits to Texas Tech, and you get to keep him around for the foreseeable future. So y'all can react to that and otherwise on the Yates Flooring Center chat line.
For those of you wondering, the game for the Lady Raiders playing as Team USA versus Finland did tip off at 1 o'clock, and they are currently leading 8-3.
It did. Yeah, that's great. Started off.
There was a little concern. We weren't 100% sure.
But we got it.
But we got it.
Yep.
And
it's working in front of us, too.
And they are leading 8-3 currently. Make that 8-6.
Why are you're jinxing us already, Jeff?
I'm not. I'm just telling people what's going on.
Okay.
I didn't predict that the ball was going in. I waited until it hit the bottom of the net before I said 6.
Also, if you could audibly hear my stomach making gurgly sounds through the microphone, I had a big Indian lunch, like Indian food lunch. So, Mr. Aldisu, blah, 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 blah. So I just, if that happens, if you can hear my stomach gurgling, then I apologize. It was really good. But I spew everything. I'm just warning people.
You ate Indian food before doing a 2-hour show.
I know. It was the only time I could squeeze it in. My Indian friend was like, hey, you got to try this place. I'm like, seems like a good suggestion.
Sounds like you might have a problem with the phrase I messed up a little earlier in the segment.
It is the bottom line.
Good luck, Jeff and Choice. Don't leave a stain. I'm in that chair next.
You're disgusting.
Oh, wow.
You're disgusting.
I was thinking the same thing. So.
Here till 3 o'clock, at least some of us are. It's the bottom line on 100.7 The Score.
Getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Happy to be part of your Tuesday. This is the bottom line on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app. Y'all continue to chime in on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. We'll return to some of your thoughts and comments rolling in there. Also, a really old pitcher coming back to Major League Baseball. Get into that for Clint's guys. The news of the hour, in case you missed it, was friendship receiver Chase Campbell committed to Texas Tech. So big news on both sides there. I'll talk about that again in a little bit. But first, Jeffrey has our question.
Time now for Jamie's question of the day on 100.7 The Score. Brought to you by someone not named Jamie and presented by Connecticut of West Texas. Life's hard, your water shouldn't be.
You guys like open-ended questions?
If I'm taking a test, absolutely not.
Well, this isn't a test.
They don't
there's no wrong answer for this question.
They don't bother me generally.
And if you have answered this question before, I am happy to change said question. But for Choice, for Clint, and our fine listening audience, listening wherever they may be listening, I need you to fill in the blank. It's not football season until blank happens. And if you want to say it was Big 12 Media Days, that's when football season starts for you. I have no issue with that if it's already happened. But for you, it's not football season until blank happens. What is that blank and why?
For me, is probably different than, for people that work in the media, it probably is a different answer than regular fans because you don't actually get real games till the end of August.
Sure.
I guess August 23rd will be the first week 0 games going on, which we have 3 Big 12 teams playing. For me, it's not Big 12 Media Days because it still feels like we're distant. But it is Texas Tech Media Day, which is next week.
That's good to know. Hadn't heard that announcement yet.
Supposed to be next week. I don't know that they've
It
announced
may still be. I just haven't seen it yet.
I don't think they've announced it, but it's supposed to be next week because they always do it before the first practice.
Yes.
So
if they do it.
First practice is towards the end of next week.
Mm-hmm.
So then we in the media get a schedule of, practice. This is when you can go view. This is when the TV people can shoot. This is when, all of these things.
This
interviews.
Is when the radio people can listen. They never put that in the list, by the way.
Interviews, those sorts of things. So that's when the players are actually practicing is when it.
That's when it starts for you?
When it becomes football season for me.
Okay.
Yeah. Clint. I mean, my kid's about to start 2-a-days, I think, next week, too. So that will feel like football season.
When they start practicing.
When they start practicing. That's football season to me.
Mine really has turned into a media answer too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's when we start getting to talk to everybody
right
in August, like when we start having access to the coaches, and we're getting highlights. And
they
we're
said
like,
this,
did you see what Roy Alexander did in practice? He had a one-headed catch. Like,
that's a random name to pull right now.
Well, I'm just because it's like I'm thinking of names that we are new to the team or haven't played much that you're expecting to see at some capacity. That's the type. Like last year, obviously, who was the biggest story? It was, hey, did you see what Micah Hudson did?
Mm-hmm.
Looks apart, like that sort of stuff. And so I think when you get into that, I'm like, okay, football's here, even though we're still several weeks away from a game and several weeks away from scrimmage and all of that stuff, from us being able to see them in person, actually have some physicality on the field. That's that stage that I'm like, all right, football season's here.
So basically the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like,
for me, I've got two answers for this, which should surprise no one. My media answer for this is the Friday before the first game.
Okay.
Because that's here we go. It's football season, and I'm doing my extracurricular activities instead of doing the thing that I normally do, because that's when life changes.
I think I can guess your second answer, but keep going.
Okay, go ahead.
That's your media answer.
That's my media answer, because that's when
your
everything
fan
changes.
Answer is going to be whenever you play a team with a pulse.
It is. When you play
Oregon
your first
State.
real opponent. In this case, week 3. Sometimes it can be week 1. But it depends on how the schedule lays out. It could be week 4, if that's when your first Big 12 opponent is, that actually has some sort of idea that you're facing an equal level of talent, whether it be home or away. It's not a win or a loss, but it's finally when you get to match up with somebody that is playing with the same type of resources that you can be playing against.
Okay.
As a fan. Now, again, for the media answer, it's the day before the first game. Or usually the Thursday. I take it back. The Thursday before the first game. Because that's when we start that process.
Okay.
But it's because that's when the team is real. That's when you're not having to guess how is it going to look against somebody that can compete on the level that you're trying to compete on.
Football season very much starts before that, because you can have injuries that happen in those other games. You can have you have all the fanfare that comes with a game, the atmosphere that comes with a game. Now, I'm not saying I won't get bored in those first 2 weeks by the middle of the third quarter. I'm hoping I get bored by the middle of the third quarter in those first 2 games, or before that, if they want to be up 50-0 at halftime. I'm fine with that. But it's hard for me to say football season hasn't started when very much football is going on. You're just superior to those opponents.
Yeah, my non-media answer used to be cut and dry Hall of Fame game in the NFL.
It's a good answer.
And then, even though it's preseason, it's football. So, I mean, you wouldn't like those games, and I'm not saying everyone loves preseason games, but you wouldn't like them if they were at the end of the season, but when you've been starved for 6 months.
I'll also say that I do kind of enjoy the NFL preseason a lot more than non-conference play for college football, mainly because
those
the guys
don't count.
Well, no, I know they don't count, but for those guys on the field, it does. For those guys on the field at halftime of the Hall of Fame game, they're doing everything they can to make a roster spot.
Well, I hope it matters when you play Arkansas Pine Bluff. I hope it matters when you see Kent State.
They're not trying to make the roster at that point. They're on the roster at that point.
You have guys still position battles and
sure.
also fighting for playing time. And
it's the concept, though, that this guy is going to be doing everything he can so next week he's not driving a delivery truck.
But I guarantee you David Bailey's doing everything he can against Arkansas Pine Bluff so he can get the best draft spot possible next year, too. So it's still same concept. I get it. I understand the like of preseason games for that reason, but it doesn't diminish what's happening at the college level. So college football, once it kicks off on August 30th, heck, once it kicks off on August 23rd in Ireland, do we get I don't know. I really leaned into the Irish on the Ireland.
Oh, it's Ireland.
So do we get I don't even know the kickoff time of that game. I assume it'll be like lunchtime.
It's been around then in Saturdays past.
Because it'll be if it's a 7:00 kick over there, that's around noon here. So, all right, we could work with that.
I was thinking last year Georgia Tech and Florida State kicked off around 1 our time.
Okay.
I think because I remember watching it through the bulk of the afternoon.
Yeah.
But the afternoon.
There we go. Thank you.
It's just weird hearing the Viking use an Irish accent with red hair.
He is I mean, Clint is just, I think he was a giant leprechaun when he was born.
A leprechaun that fell in a vat of nuclear waste, but without the gold.
That's it.
Uh-huh. I'm the poorest leprechaun you ever did see. I do like sugary cereal.
I mean, who doesn't?
Underrated Irish movie, leprechaun movie, The Luck of the Irish.
It's a great movie. It still cracks me up that they were still leprechauns, but they were giant, and they were 50-year-olds they were playing a game of basketball against in the end.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
It's all very weird, but, still worth it.
I always dreamed
of
laying out close to the sideline and throwing a shot directly in for a buzzer beater from that movie.
Never happened for you, huh? It's the bottom line. Toss a dad joke your way next on 100.7 The Score.
This has been the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score. Go to 100-7thescore.com for more from the Double T Sports Network.